We have a shocking Miami Heat update as multiple reports have revealed the truth on all the noise surrounding Giannis Antetokounmpo and a trade deal that has been surrounding the league for a while. And on top of that, a trade that almost went down between the Heat and the Bucks for Giannis that is going to continue to be on everyone's radar going through this season as Giannis gears up to leaving the Milwaukee Bucks via trade, and we are going to break all this down. Now, obviously, we all know the story. The New York Knicks are the favorites to get Giannis. It's where he wants to go. However, it does not mean that he is guaranteed to be going to the Knicks. In fact, there's a bunch of reasons to believe that he's not going to be playing for the Knicks and that the Heat will be able to swoop in here and still land the superstar. And we're going to jump right into things as always, guys. But real quick, if you're part of that 77% that's not subscribed to Heat Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily Miami Heat updates. We got a lot of great videos coming out every single day that you don't want to miss out on. But jumping right into things, there is a lot to go over on the Miami Heat right now. Because look, here's the deal. That's Zion. That's no longer Zion. But when it comes to Giannis Antetokounmpo and just the whole trade situation, we do know that the Miami Heat have held long interest in Giannis. And now, with it becoming very real with Giannis trying to figure out how much longer he wants to stay with the Bucks, a team that has not been successful at all really ever since they won the NBA Finals. The Heat have knocked him out before, which as well in 2023 kind of buried them as they then went on to make some errors, make some mistakes with the Damian Lillard deal, stuff like that just didn't work out at all for Milwaukee. Lillard's gone now, back with the Portland Trail Blazers, where he won't be playing this year as he's out with the injury to his Achilles. And what we're going to see is Giannis on the Milwaukee Bucks with Miles Turner trying to figure out if this team is going to be able to do anything in a weakened Eastern Conference. Well, if they can't, Giannis will likely be requesting a trade sooner rather than later. And there has been a ton of discussion, and the Miami Heat are still firmly in play. As mentioned by Barry Jackson, if Antetokounmpo has asked out or had asked out, the Heat were prepared to make an offer that did not include Bam Adebayo, but it's unlikely any such offer would have been seriously considered. If Antetokounmpo requests a trade at some point, it remains to be seen if the Heat would ever change his mind about offering Adebayo, but it's unlikely that the Bucks star would want to join a Heat team without Bam, with whom he shares an agent. So it's likely all moot. Antetokounmpo has said publicly that winning is very important to him, and he wants to be able to compete regularly for a championship. In this, Shams did mention that ever since the NBA draft combine in mid-May, Alex Sarastis, an Octagon managing director and Antetokounmpo's U.S.-based representative, has fielded rampant interest on Giannis and conducted serious due diligence on his best possible outside fits should the star and his reps push to be traded from the Bucks. Several teams were discussed internally, but one emerged as the only place that Giannis wanted to play outside of Milwaukee: the New York Knicks. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the situation told that to ESPN as well. Giannis is an NBA superstar. There's no doubt about it. The man puts up 30 points per game, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal per game, shooting 60% from the field, and is one of the best defenders in the NBA as well. So Giannis really, he's everything you want in a superstar player. He's just absolutely amazing. Obviously a top 3-4 player in the NBA any given year, can win MVPs, usually always in the top 3 of all MVP voting. That's just how great Giannis is. He's one of the best players that the NBA has seen in a very, 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 very long time. He's an already guaranteed to be a Hall of Famer, and he's just 30 years old. Like, the man is a guaranteed lock for the Hall of Fame with multiple MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA championship, closing it out in the way he did with that 50-point performance. And the Heat, if landing Giannis, they want to pair him with Bam, which makes sense. Bam put up 18 points per game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 36% from 3, including 45% on corner threes, and 48% from the field. So Bam spreads out the floor while the Bucks, or the Heat, excuse me, get the best defensive front court and one of the best power forward center duos the NBA has really seen since Duncan and Robinson, really, if we want to go that far. Honestly, that's what it feels like, is Tim Duncan and David Robinson would be the closest when it comes to elite defense and just overall a championship power forward center duo. One that does make a lot of sense for the Miami Heat to go after. The problem is it's obviously hard to trade for Giannis and not include Bam. But we have seen a lot. I mean, we know that we saw the noise about Giannis and his family moving to Athens, and that's caused some other stir-ups. And as mentioned, according to the Grace column of Tuvima. After months of discussions by the entire Antetokounmpo family, Mariah was asked if she preferred Milwaukee, where Giannis plays for the Bucks, or Athens, with the nod going to the Greek capital. The couple's two eldest children, 5-year-old Liam Charles and 4-year-old Maverick Shea, have also started attending elite private kindergarten in the same district. I don't know why this is a story. It's really weird. And Giannis did say, "Stop lying and endangering my family," which he was right about. Giannis keeps his life private. But there has been a lot going on with Giannis recently, and a lot of it hasn't been pro-Milwaukee by any means, which does mean a trade does feel likely, especially now. And as Legion Hoops mentioned, Giannis and his agent have reportedly been reviewing which teams could realistically acquire him at the deadline. The groundwork is being laid, and the Heat are one of those teams. That's the big thing that we have to realize here. The Heat are one of the teams that realistically could trade for Giannis at the deadline. It just makes a lot of sense, and we'll get into that in 1 second. But also, as mentioned, the Thunder, who can easily do it as well, they don't have interest in Giannis right now. So they're not really in there, and they'd be the team that would be able to land him because the boatload of picks, as Chris Mannix put it. But Giannis, it would be hard to trade for a guy who in the 2020s is first in points, fifth in rebounds, third in double-doubles, fifth in triple-doubles, first in 30-point games, and first in 30-10 games. Giannis is that good. That's the thing here. To trade for him, you have to really, really sell off the entire farm to land him. So the Heat, the plan is, how do you acquire Giannis, keep Bam, and also have a bench unit and a core that's good enough to still win? The truth is, in year one, if this happens at the deadline, you don't. The Heat probably won't win because they will be too decimated, as teams usually are when they trade for a star player in the season at the trade deadline. Usually those teams don't go on to win a championship in year one because they're so decimated. They have to go out there in free agency and build back a core, build up, get a bench, get all that stuff that you need, because there's going to be glaring holes because you traded for one of the best players in the NBA. We've seen that multiple times. We've seen this happen. It's not the first time that we've seen stuff like this go down. Now, a trade that does make sense and that I imagine is something similar to what the Heat were going to offer if it doesn't include Bam would include Milwaukee native Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, and Kel'el Ware, along with pick swaps in 2028 and 2031 and first rounders given in 2030 and 2032. It's likely that even more will be mentioned too or offered too. It would not be surprising if more draft picks get offered, if more young players get offered, if Jovic, when he can get traded, gets offered. Like, there would be a whole lot that's offered to the Bucks because the Heat know that's what they'd have to give to land Giannis at the end of the day. It's not easy, but it's something that if you want Giannis, this is how you get him. And the Heat have a better package than the Knicks. I mean, giving off Tyler Hero would obviously hurt, but the man who put up 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, shooting 37% from 3 and 47% from the field, is an all-star. And that's how you trade for Giannis. You have to give him a young star, an actual one, and Tyler Hero is that. On top of that, Shams did mention the Knicks are they've already shot themselves in the foot in a way, because the Knicks have made a series of moves independent of Antetokounmpo's potential desires to move to the franchise closer to a title. New York traded its treasure chest of draft picks to acquire Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets in June of 2024, then sent Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-rounder to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns in early October of 2024. The Knicks then signed Mikal Bridges to a 4-year, $150 million extension in August, which makes him ineligible to be traded until February. Those maneuvers left New York's pool of non-player assets limited to 1 first-round pick, 3 pick swaps, and 8 second-rounders, essentially decimating its ability to make an overwhelming offer to Milwaukee. As is, the Knicks, who are coming off of an appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, enter the season as the co-favorites in the East, along with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So when we consider all that, it does make sense that the Heat actually do have a window here to do that, because the Heat can offer a better trade than the Knicks can. Outside of that, if the Heat do this deal, Giannis has shown an affinity for Miami before. It wouldn't be too surprising to see this happen. I do think there is a real angle that Giannis can get to the Heat, and I want to see what goes down with this whole situation. Guys, do you think it's possible? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Sorry about the sirens out there. I have no idea what's happening outside right now. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.